Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. We have got Burnley in the Carabao Cup. It's our first of our next two games. We are playing Burnley at home. So we have got Nathan on from the Turfcast podcast. So how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing, my friend?
I was just saying how is he looking at with the start of the season and going into the cup one? How are you thinking with the game?
Yeah, I think overall, I've had a disappointing start to the season. Granted, we've played two pretty difficult teams, but the performances have been okay. I think the performance against Man City was a strong one, and then the performance against Villa that we just gone was a frustrating one. I thought we could have performed a little bit better, but then again, Aston Villa are I don't know, no chumps this season, as it were. They're a really good side, and we found that out the hard way. So, yeah, I don't know how he's going to approach the Carabao Cup, to be honest with you. I don't know whether he's going to use it as a something to use and to build on and to perform with, or is he going to, I don't know, like move it to one side and just focus on the league. I suppose we'll see with the teams on tomorrow night.
Area. I've been. How do you find it under company? You guys strode to the league title last season quite well under
Hmm.
company. With I was just saying about with you guys under
Yeah.
company. You guys. Oh no, first again. Oh, I was just saying with you guys last season. You guys ran away with to the
Yeah.
championship title under company, and with you guys coming up to the Premier League, do you feel like you guys are playing quite a expansive brand of football company, which you expect with him being under Pep Solan, or do you feel like what's your guys' take on it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a whirlwind, really. Like I say, we've had Sean Dyche for such a long time, and he plays a very certain style of football and very direct and whatnot. But under company, it's been a complete revolution. To be honest, it's completely changed his style of play. We've gone from a flat 4-4-2 to a sexy 4-2-3-1 with inverted fullbacks and wingers cutting in from left, right, and centre and keeping hold of the ball for lots of the period of the game. And yeah, I think it's an exciting time to be a Burnley fan in the Premier League anyway. And I just hope we can iron out these little tactical changes we're making and get used to these new players we've brought in, because I think it's a big transition again from last season. It's another step forward for company.
Yeah, definitely. You made quite a few signings last season under company, and
Mm.
you made 12 signings, haven't you, this summer already?
Yeah,
Am
yeah,
I right?
yeah, we've made quite a few already. Yeah, we're still wanting about three or four through the door actually before the end of the week. So it's potentially could be a really, really busy one for us.
Oh, wow. It sounds like this because we've gone from being very quiet
Yeah,
to making all these signings, and it's really like, oh wow, what's happened there?
yeah, it's hard to keep up, to be honest. Until you forget about players we signed right at the beginning of the window, and then they turn up and you go, oh yeah, actually, yeah, we did sign them. So yeah, it's all good though. It's exciting because, let's say, we've been a team that and a club that never really made that many signings. We made the odd marquee signing here and there, and then just added little bits of players here and there. But to make good quality signings from across Europe, it's exciting stuff for us really, and it sort of feels like similar to when you came up last season, that you sort of have a big squad overhaul and changed everything up at the club, and it sort of feels kind of similar to teams sort of on a similar sort of trajectory, I think. And if we can stay up like you did last season, I think we'll be happy.
Yeah, definitely. We've been on a bit of a journey ourselves, going up there, and
Mm,
people having to like remake a squad because our squad coming up, we literally had a load of loan signings on players who's not really Premier League quality, so we needed to really rebuild the squad. Rest this season, I've always said it that yeah, we needed a few signings to iron out the players we were brought in and loan, but we didn't need to make massive changes just because of we needed a bit more squad depth this season. Whereas last season we needed to buy everything else really, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, was this under like your new owners? Because I believe you guys got took over a couple of years ago. So did you see that's leaving and company coming in, or what? A bit of a change for me that actually seeing Burnley being this. sexy type of football team.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got took over by an American sort of group called ALK Capital, and they're a group of investment bankers from America. So their background's sort of like stock market and leverage purchases of companies and this, that, and the other and stuff. So they've got a decent sort of a knowledge base of how to run a business and how to, make decent acquisitions and make high and low risk investments, which is sort of what player trading is really, isn't it? It's sort of you're gambling in players and you're hoping that they come good and they make a good return on your investment, sort of thing. But no, they've come in and they've been a breath of fresh air. They've changed the whole ethos of the club. They've not diverted too far away from what the club stands for, and but they've sort of like. Yeah, they've sort of just made things a little bit more modern at the club. They've upgraded the club facilities a bit more. They've signed better commercial partners, and we've sort of dipped into more foreign markets, more exotic markets for players, and we've brought in a couple of big American, high-profile American sportsmen in JJ Watt, and then the YouTube group Do Perfect that they're mopping up all the sort of youngsters in that side of it all. So it's it's been, like I say, it's been a complete 180 from what we've been used to being little old Burnley, but it's been an exciting couple of years, and by all accounts it's only just getting started from what the guys at the top are telling us anyway. So yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah, definitely, and it's quite nice. I mean, what are your guys' expectations? I mean, you said it earlier that you want to stay up, but are you happy with that 17th place, or are you looking? Yeah, we should be a mid-table team
Yeah.
when we get going with like the
No,
little mistakes that you're making.
Yeah, the Burnley fan in me that's been a Burnley fan for 30 years will always take 17th and 35 points or whatever. I'll always settle for that. But the way Company speaks and his ambitions and what he keeps saying after doing post-match stuff is that he thinks they can go higher. He thinks there's no end to this team's talent, and he backs them, and he backs the signings that are coming in. The club are backing him, and the club and the Company want to push higher and higher. But as a Burnley fan, as a diehard they have been for so long, and knowing where we've come from and where we've been, I'll take 17th and 35 points off anybody if it stays up. In a heartbeat, I won't even think twice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. I don't blame you too. I mean, we was like that last season. We finished, get past Derby's punch tally, then just try and stay up best we can, and we did. We had a really positive end to the season. So, I mean, what should we be? Yeah. So, what would I say?
You've got a good, you got a good, exciting manager, and Steve Cooper is he's good. He's a good tactician, and he knows what he's on about. You made some good signings, good experience, mix of experience and young and talent. And like I say, I've always said all along from years and years ago that City ground's like an extra player for you guys. It's when that place gets rocking. I know it's not been the nicest of places over the past few years. The journey you guys have been on. But in recent years, he's been absolutely bouncing, and that certainly. I don't think we'll see that atmosphere on Wednesday. To be honest with you, it being a cup game, but I know Monday night when we come back down for the league, it'll be bouncing. Next month, not next Monday, the Monday after. Sorry, but it'll be bouncing on that Monday night. TV cameras there, and yeah, it'll be rocking, and that'll be a challenge in itself for us. That just to deal with that pressure and support from you guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because we had a tough couple of years, especially staying up, and then the rebuild that we had to do within the club and outside the club, especially with Marinakis coming in.
Yeah.
You had to really rebuild the club, and we had some tough season even with Kwanka, with Houghton, with Lamici. Lamici, the heartbeat of missing out. So for Cooper to bring the club and the fan base and the players back together, it was just something magical. And yeah, I completely agree. I can't see the cup game being much like with the atmosphere, but I do agree more with the league game. You probably see it in full function.
Yeah, it feels like tomorrow night it will just be. I don't want to say like a dead rubber, but I think both managers will probably expect that right now this probably isn't their priority. I know that you can't expect managers to not want to win every game, but I think they'll probably think, no, let's just concentrate on the Premier League. It's a very early, it might be a game that we play some players that need some minutes that are new signings, and you guys might play some players that, need some minutes. And I think it'll just be more of a warm up. I think just to feel each other out for next Monday. That's what I think will happen tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely. From what I gather, it's gonna be like one of them games where we probably just don't want to give too many ideas away to each other, but it'll probably be one of them games where we just integrate more of our players.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. I said I think that's what it will be. I know we potentially might have a new. Well, we might looking likely they probably won't be ready to play, but we've got a new signing on the cards that should be coming in anytime soon, and we've got players that need minutes in a sort of first team setting. So it'll probably be a very different team from what you've seen on Sunday from us. Anyway, it'll be quite a different team with a few different players. We'll probably swap our keepers, probably play a couple of centre halves that are different, and it will be quite a different team. And just to give them lads their minutes, because I say we need to start getting some points on the board. I know it's only been 2 games in for us anyway, but we desperately need to get a point on the board, let alone some points. So I think we'll just get Wednesday out of the way, and like I say, if we go through, brilliant. If you go through, oh well, it is what it is, and it's one of them. I'm not too fussed. I know it's a bit of a cop-out answer, but I'm not too fussed about Wednesday. Let's just settle ourselves in Premier League and get some wins on board. That's what I want, really, more than anything at the minute.
Yeah, definitely, and I see how you feel, and I was sort of like it when we got going, because last season we played Grimsby, it was straight after the West Ham game, and I thought, yeah, take the win there, and then we played Spurs, and it was time in November when we should sort of kick on before the World Cup, and I mean, it was great cup win last season, because it just got us that momentum going forward. But I mean, tomorrow night, I said it quite a few times last season that it doesn't feel like a cup game to me, because it feels like because we're both in the same league. It'd probably be a bit more like a Premier League game, whereas it's not a Premier League game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get you. Like I said, I think. I said they'll probably. It might. We said all this about changing teams. It might all change tomorrow when they actually want to put out a strong team to sort of feel each other out and use it as a practice match for Monday night. Work out strengths and weaknesses and possible lineups. Who knows how they're going to play it. Really, it might be a dead rubber where both teams just want rid of the game, or it might be a game where it's a bit feisty and a bit tasty because they're actually trying to sort of feel each other out, ready for that league game. It's very rare that happens, doesn't it? That you can play someone in the cup and then a week and a bit later you play them in the league straight away in the exact same fixture. So I'm looking forward to the game. It'd be good. I'm looking forward to going down to City Ground, not for tomorrow but for the league game. I like that ground, and it's got a good bit of history and good atmosphere, and it'll be a good game all round, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I mean, I know we both feel the same about it, but have you got a score prediction?
Yeah,
for the game.
I can see this one going to penalties, to be honest with you. I can see this being I can see it being not the most exciting again. I'll be very surprised if there's over sort of 2 or 3 goals in the game. I think it'll be a 1-1 or a 0-0. I think we'll. I would be very surprised if it's anything other. I mean, I'm probably wrong. I'm usually on my score predictions anyway, but I think it will be a draw, and it'll probably get dragged out to penalties, I think, tomorrow night.
Yeah. Is there anyone particular to watch out for? I mean, I know it could be different from tomorrow to the league game, but if you got anyone in particular to watch out for, who would it be, especially in the cup?
Yeah, no, I think if it's a similar sort of lineup to Sunday and he gets some more minutes, I think Lyle Foster, our striker and South African striker, he's sort of got his first goal that he needed this season. He's looked really good in both performances. Exciting, powerful, really strong. He's one that'll give probably most centre-back pairings a bit of a rough ride this season, I do think, regardless of who it is. He's quite a good player, but very powerful, very physical. Again, there's a lot of players that he could pick from, to be honest with you. It could be a plethora of players that might play, but we've got a young lad called Luca Koleosho that's really pacey, tricky on the ball, good with his feet. We've got Manuel Benson, who needs some more game time. He's, again, a player that likes to take on players on the wing and have shots from anywhere he wants. But no, like you say, it's really difficult to predict, sort of, to warn you of any players because any players that I name probably won't play, to be honest with you. But I say we've got a really good, with all these signings, we've got a decent depth in squad now that we can actually put out a decent team regardless of whether it's a first team or a B team sort of thing. So, but yeah, I just think we'll just come and try and give you a good game and get some more minutes in the legs.
Yeah, definitely. They will say about your podcast that you do.
Yeah, so we're the Turfcast podcast. So there's myself and Joe. You might have seen him on stuff before. And then we've got a few other lads dotting about the helpers. But yeah, we're all on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We try and release as much as we can about the upcoming games. And yeah, get us following on there. Just search Turfcast and we'll pop up on whatever you choose to search for us from.
So I will put it in the name tag and into the description, guys. So do go and subscribe. So when I get my words out, do go and subscribe to the Turfcast. Thank you for coming on the channel, Nathan.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It's been good.
It's alright. So thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye. Ooh.